Welcome in Pawesome Pack to the first positive possum strategy guide. I don't know, we need a better name for that. Tell me what you think in the comments. But one of my most favorite games, you know this, if not my most favorite game, ARK Survival Evolved. This is the survival of the fittest is finally out on Xbox now. So I stayed up too late or too early, if you will, and I won this game. Now I was almost always in second or third. If I changed my strategy and tried using one of the ones I saw other people using, it would be in fourth or fifth. But here you go. Here is my strategy guide. First possum tip. Name your character. Name your tribe. Paint your flag. Give yourself war paint tattoos. Cut your hair. Stand out. Look cool when you win, or at least when you die and the big cannons go off. Now, this is just proven in my possum experience, that you will win more likely if you do this. This isn't true. So there's a little asterisk. It says, do not actually, this isn't really true, this and everything. But hey, you know what? It is cool. It does make a difference in how you feel about yourself when you win. Everyone says, ooh, that person, rather than just that human one. Now, there are 4-year-olds or 40-year-olds, I don't know, everywhere in between or above or below, who act pretty immature, and they'll punch you and they'll say mean things in the voice chat or in the type chat, you know how it is. Just a battle royale type of toxic sometimes. Sometimes there's really cool people there and you meet new friends. Now, I do want to talk, before we get into the winning part, I want to talk about this cool feature that ARK talked about, Wildcard talked about way back in the first Extra Life, I think, that I watched, and it was the first Extra Life. They talked of the play as the dino, and they talked about the strategy, real-time strategy game that they planned on making, like little modes. And I'm glad that the survival of the fittest actually doesn't seem to be, you don't have to change your game mode to play this. I really, really hope, and you'll see here, hope that this is on Unreal 5 too, because it would be a lot less glitchy, because it is glitchy. It is laggy. And if not enough people are interested in it, there's not any reason to spend the time and money improving it. So show your love by playing the game and saying how much you love them. Stop being toxic, because too many toxic players to Wildcard. Next page. Now, this is really hard to see in this screenshot, but this does highlight that it will show you how to use this strategy guide for this game. Now, you can play with your D-pad. Playing with your D-pad, you will find out which buttons to push. You're gonna DC probably at some point when you're doing this anyways, so don't worry about winning when you're messing around and just trying to figure out these controls. It is highlighted there. You'll probably zoom. Now, I am doing this with Xbox clips, screenshots, and a phone. Video Guru, by the way, guys. If you want to make videos and you only have a phone, you don't have a PC like me, then Video Guru. Now, I might be able to afford better equipment and make better quality videos if I had more likes and subscribes. So maybe, you guys could do that and help me out a little bit here. What I love about this whole thing, though, you can say, hey, tame this. Hey, there's danger over there. Someone's riding a Giga. Or you can be like, hey, look, there's this thing right here that we need to attack and kill. Now, you can actually float above it, like a strategy map, like in those old Civilization games and such. You can control, you can possess different creatures. It is a little dangerous, though, because not only are you more likely to DC, but it also means that you aren't able to watch that ring of death. And when you go over a tree, it pops you up like that. That's just a thing that happens. But I think someone who is a little bit more talented than me and had a really good experience with ARK and stuff, or just really like strategy games, could really do a lot with this feature. Its potential is awesome. But not only is its potential awesome, but here's the next thing. Hang on here. They figured out how to do play as a dino, and they also integrated it into the survival of the fittest. They can't do the original idea they had, at least not so far. I am hoping that they do something like that in the future. I'm hoping that you can just play as a dino using this Noglin effect here. Now, I am getting attacked, you will see. My body is, not the dodo's body, and this is affecting my dodo gameplay. You can even see that I've got the broken bone. It's saying, hey, look here, and then it's giving me more issues. Keep pushing the buttons. It's not you. The game is glitchy. And then I end up feeling that salt that everybody who's played ARK feels. DC. Ouch. The diving. The diving is so much fun. Now, hold your left bumper button in and push over to the right. Make a spear before you fall. Stick with your tribe if you're playing in tribes. If you're not playing in tribes, you're playing solo, then you don't have to worry about it. But honestly, stick with your tribe, help them out. Even if they're not so good at it, even if they're not so nice and they don't do it to you, stick with them. You're more likely to win, and they're more likely to do things like tame things for you to possess after, which can make it so you could win as a dino even. Who knows? Now, having that spear made and ready is a big part of my strategy, because there's often someone at those drops and you want those drops. They have cool equipment that can make it so you can win on solo even. So stabby stab, jab jab, right away. Don't hesitate. Stab first, ask questions later. Of course, this was my tribe mate and he was telling me there's pompies behind you. Next page. The meta dinos. In my opinion, because you know the strategy guide is just my opinion and what works for me. You might do it different, but I have seen other people using these too, and some of them they've used after I started using them, so I feel kind of, you know, like that was me who started it. I don't know if it was or not, but the deer, the male deer, the stag, is fast and has bleed damage. The thyla. I don't personally like the thyla, but everyone else does. It's pretty OP. It's been nerfed even, and it's still pretty OP. And it can do a lot of damage. Now, equipment, that's what you want in the loot drops. You want that armor, you want those flame arrows. Look at him. He shot first, asked questions, by the way, later. He thought that he saw a Carno, he shot it in case it was a bad guy. Stab, stabby stab, jab jab. Because if you do this, you are likely to actually kill it. And that makes a huge difference. Here, I died, but, you know, this is what we can do to fix that problem. Be aggressive. Do not worry about dying, because you probably will die a few times when you first start playing this. But you can kill things a lot easier than you can in the vanilla version of ARK Survival Evolved. And now this is the vanilla version still, so I am wondering how they manage that. I think it's a server settings rather than a actual game mode change, which makes it so you don't have all that issues you do with changing a Primitive Plus. It also means that the whole game changes when they're updating it for something. You can possess a creature with the Noglin. Look at that. He tamed this aloe for me to possess. There's a few other people too playing who are possessing things too. He also killed that thyla that jumped down on him because he needed those extra points. Those points are going to matter in the long run. You're going to thank yourself for building those up. Now, my personal strategy is not to get a thyla, it is to get a frog. And here we go with that. My favorite tame in ARK, the Survival of the Fittest, is the frog. It is basically a flyer. You can't tame flyers in ARK Survival Evolved, the Survival of the Fittest, because they're kind of OP and they ruin the, you know, they ruin the game a little. But the frog, you can go from drop to drop really fast. You can escape that ring of death, which you see on the map. That white part is the safe ring. The blue is right behind it. And as it gets smaller and smaller, it gets faster and faster. So you want something fast. If you've got a big, giant Giga or Rex especially or something like that, and you're way back at the back of it when it starts moving fast, you're gonna get killed. So you want to be either thinking ahead and move further ahead, or be on a frog and be able to go all over the place, poke at people, even people on bosses and stuff. Be careful with that. People on Gigas, on the Chars, you know, you want to get those drops, especially want fire arrows. Fire arrows, the rockets, although they did nerf those a little bit for some reason. I think they should have nerfed the Gigas and made it so the Gigas rage still. And you have a pretty amphibious. Now, poke at them, run away. One of my favorite methods is to lead them into each other. They fight each other and you're still the one. Survival of the fittest is sometimes survival of the smartest, not the strongest. Not the most, I'm gonna fight you and die. No, you go in there, you get them to fight each other, and you're the fittest because you're the smartest, you know? There's a reason Rockwell got to where he was. So, you know, using a frog can be really fun. Now, I do like the saber too, and you will see that later in this video, because the saber has some damage, where the frog, you know, it's kind of, you can poke at people, you can kill little things, but you're basically doomed in the end, as we'll see here. Now, I am possessing this frog. If I was on this frog as a person and able to get off and use equipment, I might have been able to survive this. And yes, a little spoiler there. I am not going to survive this, but I am second place. The tribe is second place. I think one of my buddies is up on the rock, or he was the one who just got killed in the parachute. This is when those points come in. It's not just for taming other creatures. You use those points from killing creatures and people in order to heal yourself, level up your creature, vice versa. those crates right there, the dino crates, will drop things like that Venusaur right there. And then you have to kill it, get its health way far down, and use those points to tame it. And, you know, if I had fire arrows right here, I might have actually been able to win. But I didn't. So, next tip here. Taming a creature in the survival of the fittest is just getting their health low. You know, kind of like the Pokemon game we all played. You just get their health low and then you tame it. But backup creature is really important. Because of that, I have seen someone win as a monkey when they had a trade, as in they killed each other, and just that monkey survived. That monkey got lifted up in the sky, that tribe won because just that monkey survived and they had fought and they kill each other's actual person. Now, this backup tame, my favorite is a compy because it's really fast and hard to see and hard to hit. But my second favorite is the monkey, which I would actually, it's probably tied for the first favorite because they slow things down and they're a lot more useful as far as actually while you're playing if you don't need them just for a backup plan. Now, I am unable to run that ring of death, which I told you goes way faster as it gets smaller. And so make sure that if you're playing on foot or with some big guys like Rexes or Gigas, that you are inside that ring of death. Do not wait till it gets right up to you. Now here we go with the win. Here's the drum roll, guys, and that is AmishKnights on the drums of these mammoths, which are epic and underrated. They are so fun and they really do a difference, but they are slow. So if you're not close to that ring of death, then you need to start moving towards the center of where you think it'll be way before it starts closing fast. The dive. Now, I generally go in this area where I said go here, but I will also jump right in the swamp, and it does depend on my method and what I'm doing this time. So as you can see, it can be kind of laggy, but the dive is so much fun. I actually squeed and cheered out loud at the end. Well, I hope you enjoyed too. Have a great day, Pawesome Pack.